Hello, everyone. It's Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com. Welcome. If you're catching this beginning part of the video, you are probably watching the replay. So leave a comment, special shout out to you. Please, as you join me, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. This is my Tuesday night live video. It is Tuesday, July 30th. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I want to say it, but I also don't want to say it. I'm just going to say it. How are we already at the end of July? I don't know how this happens. Hi, Alicia. This video is streaming both to Facebook and YouTube. I like to say that whenever I remember, just in case I'm responding to a comment that you might not be seeing if you're watching live and I'm not talking to myself. Well, sometimes I do that, but I'm probably not. Hi, Lori. Hello, everyone. Okay, so it is Tuesday. Hi, Joan. It's the end of July. So yesterday on my Instagram story, I asked who's ready for fall and who's like, summer needs to stay around forever, and who's somewhere in the middle. Hi, Shannon. I am probably somewhere in the middle in that physically I am like still here for summer, but mentally I am all ready for fall. So I feel like, I don't know, tell me if you relate, but as paper crafters, we have to get started on our projects early, right? And so, Shannon's ready for fall. We have to get started on these projects early. So I am full, like my mind has switched over to fall and Halloween. And last week, demonstrators got to see the PDF of the mini catalog that's coming out in September. Demonstrators get to order it from it 1 week from today, which is really exciting. And it's like all Christmas. And I lose my mind because I love Christmas. Although I'm not quite crafting for Christmas yet. So, hi, Mom. Oh, Alicia's in the middle. I know. It's just like, Anyway, so we are going to do some fall crafting tonight. We are going to play with the Scenic Pumpkin Patch stamp set. So we don't have any die cutting to do tonight, but we do have some fussy cutting, which is a little bit, love, hate. Depends where you fall on that too. You might hate it. You might love it. You might be in the middle. So, Shannon, you and Alicia have something in common there. Joan, you've made some Christmas. I have made some Christmas too, but I haven't gone like full in on Christmas, My nephew, I should say, I wish I could say that I haven't seen a Christmas movie yet this year, but my nephew did watch Home Alone. So, oh my gosh, Lori's already Christmas shopping. That is awesome. So, all right, let me flip my camera down here so you can see my desktop. Here's the stamp set that I mentioned we are going to use. Let me take this away as well. So Scenic Pumpkin Patch, this is part of the online exclusives, which means you're not going to find it in a catalog. You'll find it online now. I know you're all very smart, so you've probably already found it online. Hi, Marva. So it's photopolymer. You can see we're going to use almost every stamp. There's a few stragglers left behind, but you might notice there are no sentiments in this set. So for this week, use whatever you want to for sentiments, but I picked out these two stamp sets. These are both also part of the online exclusive. So Everyday Greetings. By the way, Scenic Pumpkin Patch and Everyday Greetings, those were both released on July 3rd with that online exclusive launch. So this one, you can see there's some like standard text. I don't know what you call that. And then cursive. What is this called? Non-cursive. It's summer brain. I don't know. And then I'm also using Simply Said. This is, again, also an online exclusive stamp set, but this one came out, I don't know when. It's been out for a little while. And it has a couple of sentiments that this one doesn't. Like this one has birthday, but I don't think there's no happy. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. You could do best birthday wishes. I don't, anyway, but this one has a nice happy birthday that I like to use because it's like, sometimes you just need those like skinny ones, Hi, Mimi and Julie. So those are the two sentiment sets I'm going to use. Let me show you the cards we're going to make together tonight. I tried to keep them simplish, which is not always like my specialty. I'm not always the greatest. Oh my gosh. When we get to this card, you guys, you are going to have to laugh with me. Just yeah, because sometimes I didn't want to cry, but to be dramatic, I'm going to say, because sometimes you want to cry and instead of crying, you have to laugh. I didn't actually want to cry, but it is kind of funny. So I'll tell you when we get there. And then this is the fourth one. So we are going to make these 4 cards together live tonight. if you would like to make these cards at home and you are like, well, you know what, it would be more fun, or as I like to say, funner, to have the card kits already prepped for me, you can get those as a thank you gift from me this week. So if you place a $45 order in my online store through the end of the week, so Friday, August 2nd, I can't believe I'm saying August, you can get these card kits for free as a thank you gift from me. I'll send you all the pieces that you need. You will obviously need the Scenic Pumpkin Patch stamp set, and then again, something with sentiments. It doesn't have to be these sets, but if you like these sets, then those are great as well. So we're going to make them all together tonight. If you do place that order, you're also going to receive a detailed PDF to put together the projects. All of my incredible crafters, my awesome team, they are also going to get that PDF for free, just like they do every week. So that's also something to consider, especially with that pre-order coming up next week. Might be a good time to consider getting a discount and buying the starter kit. So anyway, make sure you use this host code that you can see here on the screen when you check out. That lets me know that you want the class. You don't need to memorize the host code. It is linked in the description of this video. So when you click on the link in the description of the video, it will take you to my online store where you can go ahead and make your purchase, and it will have that host code tied to it. Okay. I'm going to take that away though, so that we can see a little bit more here on my desktop. And we are going to get started with card number 1. Now, this one is maybe a favorite. It's between like this one and number 3. I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, anyway. All right. Hello, everyone. We've got lots more hellos here. Hello. We have an early espresso card base. We've got a piece of the Country Woods DSP. I love this pattern. I love that dark wood pattern. We've got a Cajun Craze layer. We've got a basic white layer. We're going to stamp on that, so I'm going to set it to the side. You've got a Cajun Craze strip, a basic white strip that we're going to stamp on, and then you'll have some linen thread. Okay, so let's start with stamping because it's always the best place to start. Now, this first card has the most stamps out of any of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to use 11 stamps on this first card. And I know I said I'm going to start with the sentiment. Yeah, okay, we will. No, actually we won't. I'm going to do it. I have like the colors laid out in order on my desktop, and so that's just how we're going to do that. You know, we're just going to not confuse the brain. All right. Hey, Judy. Okay, so we're going to start with crumb cake. I thought, you know what, we better have some sort of a ground, right? Even though, now, like I said, I was trying to keep this somewhat simple. So, I did not do like a blue sky or green grass. You could absolutely do that, but that would have been not simple, so I didn't do that. Okay, so then I've got this fence. We're going to grab early espresso ink to do our fence. Now you'll notice one side of the fence doesn't have a post, and that's so you can layer lots of times. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put our fence across the bottom here onto our crumb cake little grassy thing, right? And just connecting it across. Okay, while we have early espresso out, I've got this tiny little strip here. I'll move it in the super messy part because then you can see it because it's so bright. And I'm going to grab that thank you sentiment from Simply Said and stamp that into our 1/2 inch strip. Actually, I think that's 3/8 inch strip. Okay, so that one's done. All right, we have to do one more thing with early espresso, but I'm going to put a few more things. Judy, I have a whole like 100-piece stack of grid paper, but this is just too pretty. Anyway, Judy, you're funny. Anyway, we're going to add the early espresso up here for the trees, but I want to place the pumpkins first, so that you know, we know where things are going, so we don't like overlap accidentally where we don't want to. Okay, so pumpkin pie ink, because it's a beautiful color for pumpkins, and we're going to do these pumpkins. Now I'm going to kind of base it off of what I did here. The pumpkins, when you pair it with the stem, the pumpkins do go like a right way, but they don't like have to, because this is card making and you can do whatever you want. But yeah, just so you know that the stems do, you know, they're pointed up, and so your pumpkins do technically go like a specific way, but nobody's counting, so. All right, so we did that bigger group of pumpkins. Now I'm going to do the medium pumpkins, and I'm stamping off once. Okay, so we're going to just put a little grouping of them there. And then we're going to do that smallest group of pumpkins. Now, this is where I went wrong last time. So you got to flip it like this. It goes down towards the right. I did do that wrong last time. And then you just strategically place your sentiment over it. You know, nobody notices. Okay, we're going to stamp that one off too and then stick this up here. Beautiful. I know the grid paper is a work of art. Somebody told me once that I should make like cards out of the grid paper, and I just don't, I can't like picture it in my head what it would look like, so I haven't done that yet. All right, we're just pulling back in early espresso real quick to place a couple of these trees up at the top. So cute, like that. Then we can close this up, and then we're going to grab Old Olive. Look at all these stamps we have for Old Olive. All of our stems and then our leaves for the tree. So, okay, so these match. So you'll see like the grouping of 3. That obviously goes with the largest pumpkins. Okay, so we're just going to stamp the stems. That should be like a catchphrase. I don't know what you'd use it for, but it sounds like, sounds great. Stamp the stems. Okay, so then I'm going to stamp off. This is the group of 5. That's going for these medium pumpkins. And then we've got our smallest little pumpkins. That's also 5. And we'll stamp those. Cute. Okay, so then for the tree covering, you only have one of these little poofs. And you kind of need it 3 times. So here's what I did. I did, like, I'm going left to right, right? We have 6 like trees. So I'm going full stamp, stamp off. So just directly in a line left to right. Full stamp, stamp off. Full stamp, stamp off. Okay. You follow me? Just like that. So it's just kind of like alternating there. Yeah, junk journal page. That might work. You see a heart with the pumpkins. I know. I thought of that too. I thought those 3 kind of looked like a heart. So I'm glad somebody else sees it too, Joan. Okay, so then that, look at, we used 11 stamps, but it was so easy. Now we just have to assemble. So here's our seal. We are going to add some adhesive to the back of our DSP. And of course, this Country Woods DSP is great for so many sets, but it's also really nice for fall. I really love it for the fall sets to make fall cards. It's thumbs up, 10 out of 10. All right, fold and burnish that. Let's adhere our super stamped piece onto our Cajun Craze layer. Beautiful. And then we're going to dimensional that. So grab dimensionals, corners, and one in the middle. Peel off all those backings. And we are going to put this, made sure that was opening the right way, put this towards the right-hand side a little bit. Cute, just like that. Okay, take this little sentiment. Let's see if I can do this in a straight line and not get any adhesive on my glass mat. I think I did it. Oh yeah. Hello again. Oh, I'm glad you like this card. I know this set, sometimes I'm going to be honest with you. I've been crafting for a long time. And so sometimes with like just a stamp set, it can be a little bit more difficult for me to know what to do with it. And so this was kind of not like a challenge, but a little bit, I had to think about it a little bit. Like, what can I do with this? Because there's no dies and I love my bundles. All right. I added a little bit of seal here. I'm going to do my faux bow. So I've got my linen thread in my left hand here. I've got the ends. My right pointer finger here has the middle, the loop there. Okay. So we're just going to stick that down and then just snake it to make it look like a bow. If you're a pro bow tire, then just tie a bow, but I like to just cheat when I can with bows, not with anything else. Okay. This is a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to trim it a little. Oh, that went, it shot into my ink pad holder. Typical. Okay, so now for this, what we're going to do, we're going to obviously add dimensionals again, because why not? And I've got this seal right here, right? This is where like the knot of the bow would be if I tied a real one. So I'm just going to stick down 2 dimensionals. We're double deckering. Okay, and then here on the side with the U, so I'm going to just flip it right over itself. we're going to put 1 dimensional. So it's going to be evenly across, but because this piece is already up on dimensionals, that is going to help it to all, you know, be good and everything, because the words ran out of my head. And then I made sure to cover that strip was covering any exposed seal that I had there. Okay. All right. We're going to finish this one off with probably one of my absolute favorite embellishments. These clear and pecan pie ribboned dots. Oh my gosh. Get yourself a pack if you don't have them. They're awesome. And I mean, they are raised, but they're not like super tall. And so I don't know. I just love them. They have a very pretty like ribbon look in them. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You need them. And that is card number 1. Isn't that fun? So this is a fun fall thank you card. You can obviously swap out that sentiment as well for a birthday or thinking of you or anything else as well. Okay, so here is card number 2. This one is going to be birthday wishes. I know a lot of people with birthdays in October, and so that was the inspiration for this card. And this is the card you're going to laugh at me about, because I was cutting these kits for tonight, and I realized I ran out of basic black cardstock. So I, like, a few days ago, I was like, oh, I don't have any basic black. No worries. Like, I'll overnight an order with a bunch of cardstock, including basic black, right? Well, it was supposed to be here today, and guess what? The weather delayed it. So I had to makeshift, like, find pieces from like class kits and whatever to make do because I don't have my basic black cardstock. So this one has a basic black card base. Yours is going to be like this. But what I have to do tonight is do it the long way. So anyway, there's that, right? And then we've got a pumpkin pie layer. This was embossed with the leaf ball embossing folder. Then you're going to have a piece of basic black. And yours is not going to have a hole cut out of the middle. But because I didn't have another piece of black that was big enough to cut this circle, I had to cut it out the middle. So I'm really hoping that this basic white piece, when I layer it on, that it's going to cover. I think it is. It's going to cover, so you won't be able to see where that circle was die cut. But I was like, oh my gosh, I hope they laugh at me. So this is a basic white piece we're going to use. By the way, that circle was die cut from the Stylish Shapes. We've got a label here for our sentiment. This is die cut from the Something Fancy dies. We've got a piece of basic white to stamp and fussy cut our pumpkins. And then we're going to have some basic white baker's twine. So anyway, you guys maybe don't find that as funny as I do, but I just found it hilarious. I was just so glad, to tell you the truth. Usually I'm not like a huge procrastinator, but I have a class kit that I took from another demonstrator, and I haven't made all the cards, and so that's where this card base came from. So anyway, okay, so I'm just cleaning off a couple of those stems there because we are going to stamp a background. Now this does not have to be like pretty. It's just going to be all over the place. I know, the basic black cardstock. So the reason why it made me laugh is, and we're okay, so we're going to use pumpkin pie, which we used on the first card. So we're just going to go to town. Anyway, the reason it made me laugh so hard is because if you guys were around last year, you might remember that I don't know what it is with me and basic black cardstock, but I always think I have more than I do. I always think I have more, and then I don't have it. And so last year, I'm going to stamp off. These are the medium ones. I'm going to stamp them off. Last year, I was cutting a class, and I was like 10 pieces short, and I had to call Alicia, who's on here. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, she's on my team and a good friend of mine, and she lives close. And I was like, I don't know what I did, you know, like, do you have 10 pieces? She's like, yeah, come over. I can't believe it. I think I need, like, Halloween's coming up. I just need to order like 10 packs, I swear. Like, I should just order 10. Okay, so this is a little cute single pumpkin. So I'm going to stamp this one off too, but just to fill in any of that excess space here. You know, just for funsies. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone. Tammy said she's done that too. Yeah, but I'm like, dang it. At least this time I ordered it. It just got held up in Kentucky for weather. So I don't know what's going on in Kentucky, but it held up my package. So, okay, so let's stamp our little stems here. Now this time for the stems, I'm using Early Espresso. So we'll just stamp these on. We've got one over here. And then we've got these ones for our medium pumpkins. We'll stamp those on, and I'm stamping off, although maybe I don't want to stamp off. Oh well, too late. Already did it. All right, we've got that. Oh, that was one here. Okay, and then we have our little, look at how tiny that is. That stamp is so small, so small. Okay, so let's stamp a couple of these. And one more. Beautiful, just like that. Okay, we're going to close this. We have more stamping to do, but we can go ahead and close that and move that. Okay, so here we're going to bring in that trio again. And pumpkin pie. And stamp that onto our basic white scrap. We're going to have to fussy cut, you guys. I'm so sorry if you're not a fussy cutting fan. Oh, I know. Tammy said even if the weather wasn't bad, they'd still probably blame it on the weather. I know. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just, it's okay. Thank you for the compliment on my handmade DSP. I'm so distracted now. I keep closing this ink pad and I still need it. Okay, early espresso still. We are going to stamp our sentiment. So we've got birthday wishes. And they're a very fun cursive font. So we're just going to go ahead and add that on that cute little label. So again, that label is from the Something Fancy dies, which I recently rediscovered. And so now I use them all the time. Okay, so before I adhere this pumpkin pie piece, oh, this is going to be a struggle because now I have to watch where I put my adhesive, you guys. Okay, we're just going to add some adhesive to this basic black piece. And then we're going to layer on our basic white. Now, this is going to line up flush on the left and right hand sides, and it's going to have a margin at the top and bottom. You might be saying, Melissa, I just watched you tape that down, and you lie. Well, when you put it on the pumpkin pie piece, it's going to, but you know, sometimes when you cut things and they're a little bit off, I wanted to cut this over so that I can lay it down here and then trim off the excess, okay? So just line it up with one of the edges. Okay, and then we're going to add adhesive. And then we're going to lay this across our pumpkin pie piece. And I'm trying to have it with an equal margin on the top and the bottom there. Okay, and then we'll just trim off the excess with our snips, or you could use your trimmer. Whatever you prefer. But I have to focus. Hocus focus. That's what I tell my niece and nephew all the time. Hocus focus. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They're getting squirrely. They need to go back to school. Just kidding. That's one thing, though. I do know lots of people go back to school in August. Luckily, we don't. We go back in September. But I don't know. Sometimes it's like, oh, that routine is so nice for them, though, you know? Oh, now you have to have it. I'm sorry, not sorry. All right, we're adding some seal to the back of our pumpkin pie piece now. Then we're going to layer it onto our basic black card front. So cute. I love it with the black and the orange. Obviously very Halloween. I love it. Okay. Burnish that. Then we can take this basic black circle, add some seal to the back of this, and we're going to lay this. I know we're going to cover some of our beautiful handmade DSP. Sorry. Okay, so then this basic white twine, we're going to faux bow this again, okay? So I'm going to add some seal. Right, trying to make it shiny. There you go, right there. So it's kind of like down a little bit. You can really add the seal wherever you want. The label is pretty big, so it will probably cover it. But just keep in mind that you want the label to cover it. And this is a longer piece because we're going to do the same thing with the faux bow, but we're going to make it look like a double bow. So do one side, then I'm going to do the other side. Okay, then I'm going to put my finger back in that original loop and wrap that around. Make sure you're grabbing the right string. And voila, so you can kind of see how that's all, you know, entangled. And you know what's going on there, but somebody else is going to be like, oh my gosh, how did you tie a double bow? And you're going to be like, I don't know, it just happened, you know? And then you can be like, show off your paper crafting masterness. All right, I put my dimensionals on either side here just to help me out a little bit, and then we'll stick this guy down just because I didn't want to add it on top of those and then have like a bumpy piece, you know what I mean? All right, I've been putting it off, but it's time. We have to fussy cut. Now, fussy cutting experts and people who wish they were experts will tell you, don't turn your scissors, turn your paper. However, the people who want to be fussy cutting experts but really just honestly don't love it, me, hi, are going to tell you that that's easier said than done. I know some of you are really, really good at fussy cutting though, and you probably have this down to like, you know, you are an expert, and I just am not. So we're just going to hope for the best. And we probably won't have an equal space around all of the things, an equal white space here. And that's okay, because it's going to be beautiful anyway. And, you know that like saying, like, eat the frog, like do the hard thing. That's fussy cutting for me. Like I should fussy cut something at the beginning of every day, and then I like ate the frog. Okay, so we've got that fussy cut. I'm going to put one dimensional on the left-hand side here, add a little bit of seal on the right-hand side so that can stick onto our label here. And we're just going to stick that down because I thought, oh, we've got to accentuate our pumpkins, right? We got to pop those out a little bit. Okay, and then we've got these really fun sparkle gems. I'm going to use the black ones. And I'm out of the small ones, so I'm going to use 2 big ones. And just stick those next to each other right there, diagonal. And that, my friends, is card number 2. I know, eat the frog. Oh, Lori's saying too. Lori, you've never heard Eat the Frog? I think it's a book or something, but it's basically like do the hardest task or the task you're dreading the most, do it first, because then the rest of your day you're like, oh, I already did the really hard thing. I don't know, something like that. So we ate the frog. If we fussy cut first, we'll eat the frog. Okay, so this is card number 3. This is the one that's kind of tied for number 1, or tied with number 1 for my favorite, because I really like that one, even though it has more fussy cutting. It's okay. We will survive. All right. So this one, we've got a pecan pie card base. We've got a basic white layer. We've got a layer of the Country Woods DSP. That's another really fun pattern. We've got another basic white pattern or layer. I mean, we've got a soft seafoam layer. This was embossed with the changing leaves. Oh, you say swallow the frog. Oh, you say bite the bullet? Yeah, there's a lot of fun ones. I think Eat the Frog might be a book. Anyway, so this one was embossed with the Changing Leaves hybrid embossing folder. So you can see how that looks without any die cutting or stamping with using that die. So this is just what it looks like embossed. And then I've got a really extra long piece here, basic white, that we're going to stamp on. So let's start with that. We are going to clean our pumpkin stamps, because when I was designing this, I thought, oh, this would be really cute with peach pie ink instead of pumpkin pie, because soft seafoam is a very subtle color. I must have some extra ink on my, oh, it's on the other side of the block. Geez Louise, Melissa. Oh, well, where's the other one? Here it is. Soft seafoam is such a subtle color that I thought that peach pie might pair a little bit nicer with it, be a little bit prettier. And so we are going all in with peach pie. So just had to clean. Oh, did I miss a comment? I'm so sorry. That was the Falling Leaves embossing folder. Oh yeah, sorry, Tammy. I see that now. Yes, Falling Leaf embossing folder. It came out quite a while ago, but I don't remember exactly when. Okay, so we have got peach pie, excuse me. Let's leave a little bit of room here for our stems. So we're going to stamp our pumpkins. And I just did them all the same. Okay. And this one, hold on. Yep, down. Okay, the one that goes the farthest down is on the right with the little ones. That's the one I have to remember. Okay, so there's a peach pie. And then we've got early espresso for our stems, which is what we stamped them in last time. So this can stay the same color. Hopefully I'm good. I'm on camera. Okay, so there's 1. Here's 2. And I don't remember if I cleaned the smallest ones or not, so we'll just do that quick. From using them in Old Olive, I don't remember if I did. So we'll just take care of it, you know, and stamp those. Okay. And then we're going to quick stamp our sentiment. So I'm just going to flip this all the way around. And what I'm going to do is grab Congratulations, Friend. These are from Everyday Greetings. And let's do, we're going to trim this. So we're just going to stamp Congratulations. Okay. And then we're going to stamp Friend. Like under it, you know, so the D kind of comes up and cuts into the S. Makes sense, right? Well, okay, Debbie said, wouldn't you rather swallow the frog whole over eating it slowly? I don't think I would eat it slowly. And if it's a real frog, I wouldn't eat it at all. But anyway, I'm going to trim this too and save the excess white for something else later. Okay, so I feel like this might be a little bit embarrassing to say, so nobody's allowed to make fun of me, okay? I actually can't even swallow pills, so I don't think I'd be able to swallow a frog. Anyway, hello, Stacy. Thanks for joining. Yeah, but I can't swallow pills, so I don't think it would happen regardless. Some of you might be like, that's ridiculous, but it's all good. Anyway, we're going to fussy cut now because we're eating the frog. We're going to take care of it and we're not going to avoid it while we put the rest of the card together. Okay. All right. You could see with that sentiment there, I just trimmed it out with my trimmer. Again, if you're a fussy cutting expert and you have a very steady hand, you could probably just cut that. But I used my trimmer because I don't trust myself to cut that straight. And I didn't measure it. I just kind of eyeballed and cut, you know? Okay, so the stems are the hardest part because they're so like in and out, you know? Okay. All right. So here's my question while we fussy cut, because it's going to obviously take me a little bit of time. Who here lives in or has been to Southern Utah? And what are some fun things that I have to do because I'm going there in a few weeks? I have most of the itinerary planned, but you know, we still have some free time. So I'm actually going with a bunch of demo friends. I don't know if Judy Tuttle is still on, but she's one of them. She was on the video earlier. And it's going to be a really great time. But the really nice thing about this event is it's held by my demonstrator friend, Rhonda Wade. And it's not actually held by Stampin' Up. So it's not like super duper busy like a Stampin' Up event is. And I love both kinds of events, but this one I'm kind of really looking forward to because it's like a Stampin' Up trip and a vacation all in one. Versus like on stage when we went to Texas, that was like a Stampin' Up trip the whole time. So yeah, anyway. I know that there's like, they have these places like, okay, so you know in Utah, a lot of people there are members of the LDS church and they don't drink like caffeine or whatever. So they have, I think they still have like Starbucks and whatever, but they have these like drink shops. Like, anyway, Debbie, there are 5 national parks in Utah, but yeah, maybe only 2 in southern Utah, but there's 5 total in the whole state, which is crazy. We are going to go to one of them because we're staying close to one of them. But yeah, anyway, they have these drink places and I'm really, really, for some reason, excited to go try one. Even though it's just like pop, but I don't know, they like put other stuff in it, like coconut creamer or whatever you order, but I'm for whatever reason, like really excited about it, which might sound totally silly, but anyway. So, okay, we're almost done fussy cutting. So we are flying into Las Vegas and then we rent a car and drive about 2 hours north of Las Vegas. So I think when we land at in Las Vegas, because we have a rental car, I think we're going to stop and see the Hoover Dam because I've never seen that. And that's like not the same direction that we need to go to get to Utah, but it's only like 30 minutes out of the city. of Las Vegas. And so I'm like, whatever, it's worth it, right? Yeah, Arches, Zion, Bryce Canyon. There's one, is Capitol Reef one? And there's another one. I think Capitol Reef is one. They're all kind of in the same area. But because of them being national parks and all the windy roads, they take like forever to drive back and forth. So, okay. But there is another one. Does anybody know what the other one is? Bryce Canyon, Arches, Zion, Capitol Reef, and I don't know. Gotta take the damn tour. Oh, okay. I'll look into that. I was just gonna walk across it. Okay, so we're gonna adhere this guy together here. So we've got that DSP onto our basic white and onto our card base. We'll go ahead and fold and burnish that. And let's add some seal to the back of our soft seafoam piece. Now it is embossed, so we're gonna add lots of adhesive. Make it super sticky so that nothing can kind of pop up on us. And layer this onto our basic white piece. Oops, not slanted if we can help it. Beautiful. And then add some seal to the back and layer this onto the card front. I love these colors together. And this card I cased, I saw on one of the demonstrator groups, a demo by the name of Kimber Lee. She posted a similar card, and that's where I kind of got the inspiration from. So, all right, added some dimensionals on the back of our congrats sentiment here, and we're going to just pop that up. I have just a teensy bit of the DSP showing off to the side. So then we're going to get strategic because we want these pumpkins to be raised too. So at the bottom of our largest one, I added a dimensional, and we're just going to scooch that till I can feel the dimensional hitting and stick that down. Okay, and then same thing here. I'm just going to add one somewhere along the lowest point. And then we're going to sneak this in here as well. And then we're going to get really tricky, and I'm going to take one dimensional and I'm going to use my snips to sneak this under, partially under one of those pumpkins. Okay, so you can see it sticking out there. And then I'm going to stick this one maybe like like here and stick that on top. Okay, and then because it's raised a little, I'll just use my liquid glue and sneak a teensy bit of liquid glue underneath to hold that down. Okay, just like that. Beautiful. The birthday cake mountains. Oh, that's fun. That is a really cool way to think of it. Yeah, I'm going to have to look up what the other one is because now it's going to drive me crazy. All right, so let's add some more of my favorite, the ribboned dots here. So we're going to add some pecan pie ones this time. So I've got one big and one little, and that is card number 3. Isn't that one really fun too? I just love the subtle colors of it. It's so pretty. Okay, real quick, because I'm not going to rest till I figure it out. Let me just look at a map really fast. That's card number 3. Hold on just a second. Hold the phone. That's what the kids say. Okay, Zion, Capitol Reef, Bryce Canyon. Oh, and Canyonlands. That's the one we forgot. Canyonlands. That's a national park. I don't think I ever would have just remembered that. So, okay, here is our final card. I thought this one could kind of pass as like a masculine birthday card. It's kind of fun with the pumpkins and all that good stuff. So this one, we've got a crumb cake card base. We've got a pecan pie layer. We've got a very vanilla layer that we're going to stamp on. We've got a strip of basic white for our sentiment, and we've got a a die cut of basic white from the Nested Essentials dies. So let's start with this very vanilla piece. And again, we're going to use peach pie for our pumpkins, and we're just going to make another fun little background. So actually, I don't want to use the biggest one. I just want to use the medium and the little, but every single pumpkin I stamp here, I am going to stamp off first. So we're just going to, again, make a fun little background. Nothing too fancy, no rhyme or reason. Okay, then we've got our little guys just to fill in some space here. And we'll go there, and there, there, you know, just filling in the white space. And then I've got my little tiny pumpkin, and I don't think we use that guy with peach pie. I think he's pumpkin pie, and that would not be fun to mix those colors. So just clean that off quick. And we'll stamp a couple of those down too. So there and there, and there, and down here. It's kind of fun to make your own DSP, right? Because then you can control whatever you need it to look like. Okay, that's good enough, I think. So that's peach pie. I am going to switch back to the old olive stems. So just like our first card. So I'm going to grab, we've got that little tiny baby stem. Just a little guy. We've got our smallest pumpkins, grouping of pumpkins, and then we've got our medium pumpkins. Oop. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to ink these up in old olive and then stamp them off. So these are for the medium pumpkins. So ink that and that. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. That was funny. Okay, so I think I got all the medium ones. Then we'll go to our little ones. Like that. There we go. And there's that one. Oh, I really have a frog in my throat. That's funny. Okay. There, and then one more here. Now, if you do end up accidentally stamping those smallest pumpkins upside down, I would just use this single one to add a stem to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I got them all. Okay, so then we can close up our old olive, and we're going to make a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to scooch all this off to the side for a second. I'm going to open this even more. Scooch off anything that could get messy. And I am going to add a little bit of speckling. So we have the Natural Tones set of Stampin' blends. And I like that you guys are laughing. This is the 100 blend. So I'm just going to hit it against my bone folder, and it's going to add some speckles to our very vanilla layer here. And you can do as many or as few as you'd like. Scoot that down a little. Okay, that's good enough for me. So this is, I believe it's the deep tone pack of them. And so it comes with a 100 and a 200 blend. Oops, we'll need that. Okay, so there's that. We've got one more thing to stamp with our messy scrap paper out. Okay, we can bring these guys back in though. So then on our card base, I am going to go ahead and fold and burnish this. And I wanted to add the little leaf stamp from this set, just a little bit to add some interest here. So I'm going to grab my crumb cake ink so it matches our card base. And we've got this little leaf stamp. And we're going to go ahead and just create a little, stamp your own DSP kind of look, but on our card base. So I am going at a diagonal line. So I did my line first, and we're just going to stamp under them. I missed the stems on the bottom pumpkins. Oh my gosh. Okay, thanks. Jan, you would be happy to buy me some new graph paper. You can't take the dirty looking work paper. Oh, well, Jan, that's okay. That's why we are all different. You do not need to buy me any grid paper. I have a pack of probably 95 more sheets of it, but this is how I prefer to stamp. And I think that we're all different like that. So, yeah, because the thing for me is if I grabbed a new sheet, and maybe it's time, maybe I should grab a brand new sheet. If I grabbed a new sheet and stamped with it, it's going to get messy anyway. And then what? I'm just going to throw it away. It's perfectly fine. So that's just my view on it. But, we're all different, and that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. So, all right. So we're just going to finish up here stamping. And thank you, Joan, for telling me I missed some pumpkins. I will go in and add those stems in just a second. Okay, so that's good for me. You can kind of choose how high or low you want it to go. And That looks good. So I'm just going to grab that old olive again real quick and grab my stems, and we'll stamp those on. Fufta. Okay, did we get them all officially now? I think we did. I think those ones are so close to the bottom of the single pumpkin, so I totally missed it, you know. Okay, so that's good. And then we just have to stamp our, oh, you know what? We still need this for a second. And we have to stamp our trees. So I'm just going to do a couple of trees on this Nested Essential die cut. So here they are. Oh, that's not the color. Not the color that I want. I know they will show up on the card. You're totally right. I appreciate you telling me because I thought I had them. Okay, so we are going to stamp this in Early Espresso ink, and I am going to stamp one in the middle and then two on either side. And so it's going to go off the edge a little bit, which is why I'm using my messy scrap paper. And, oh, let's leave that out. So that looks good. And then we're going to stamp Happy Birthday. So this is from the Simply Said stamp set. So we're going back there. And I'm just going to stamp this on the bottom in Early Espresso ink. You guys should see my whole mess of stamps over there. I'm running out of room, but good thing we don't have anything else to stamp. Okay, so we've got that. And we will just trim this out. Okay, beautiful, just like that. And now we can start assembling this one. So before we assemble, now I actually got some really mean comments about this a few weeks ago. And so I thought I'm going to do it again. So what we're going to do with this piece here is we're going to crumple it. People were very mad that I did this in the past. With a baby card a few weeks ago, people were really mad at me. And I thought, well, I liked it. So, you know, it's the stubbornness in me. You know, okay, so we crumpled it, and then I'm going to rip a little bit of it, and you can kind of choose wherever you want it to go, but I'm just going to tatter it just a little bit. And if you don't like the tattered look, don't do it. But I just thought it would look kind of fun to be a little bit more beat up, kind of cool looking. So, okay, so then we'll add some seal onto the back. Oh, we're out of seal. Perfect timing, huh? And then we're going to layer this onto the pecan pie layer. So the parts that aren't ripped, I'm just looking there for the margins. And it does get kind of flattened out again when we adhere it to this pecan pie layer, but you can still see some of those ridges in there. I know, I like the texture it adds too. So I don't know. If you ever have somebody tell you that they don't like something on your card, just do it again. That's my motto, huh? Okay, so let's add in my refill here. I was prepared. I thought I might run out during our video. All right, then we'll add some seal to the back of the pecan pie piece and lay this onto our card front. Ooh, right there. Looks good. Okay, and then we've got our piece here. And we will add some dimensionals to the back. Okay, and peel off the backings. And then we'll lay this onto our card front. And you can choose if you want it to go lower or higher, wherever you want. Beautiful. Okay, I am going to use my snips. Hopefully I do this okay and I don't go too crooked. But I'm just going to snip off some of the ends here of our sentiment. Like that. Okay, and then we'll add, you know what, we might have to cut. Let's cut a dimensional in half because it is so thin. And then we'll add this onto our sentiment. There's one and there's two. And we can peel off the backings and then stick this right there. So cute. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and finish off. So these are the metallic gems and I am using the bronze ones. So we'll put one big one there and one little one right next to it, just like that. And that is card number 4, our final card. Look at that. So here are all 4 of our cards. Let me lay them out that we made together tonight. I hope you love them. I want to know which one is your favorite. I'm still tied between these two, but I really like all of them. So, you know, whatever occasion they need. When I need these birthday cards, they'll be my favorite. So anyway, so let me know which one's your favorite. But thank you for joining me tonight. As a reminder, if you would like these card kits as a free gift from me, you can get them by placing an order in my online store this week. 2431. All right. Perfectly pumpkin-y. I love it, Pam. Pam, perfectly pumpkin-y. Anyway, so an order of $45 or more before tax and shipping will get you the card kits for free from me. I will ship them out next Tuesday, August 6th. 6th. That sounded funny. 6th for you. You got it. I didn't mean to. Okay, 6. We had to add one more because I said it 3 times. So anyway, they'll get shipped out next Tuesday for you. Make sure you use this host code that you can see on the screen. You don't have to memorize it. You can click the link in the description of this video to go ahead and order that. Otherwise, I think that's it. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention, tomorrow, July 31st, is the last day to earn a bonus days coupon. So for every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon that starts on Thursday. And if you get multiple coupons, you can use them all at the same time. So yeah, so I should add, just in case, if you are redeeming those bonus days coupons on Thursday and you're hoping to get this class, make sure that $45 is before the tax and shipping and after any coupons you add. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.